Caterpillar Tour of Tasmania Stage 5 starts in the heritage town of Westbury, famous for its favourite son, Jack Badcock, who played for Australia in the cricket between the 1930s and also played alongside the great Don Bradman. Westbury is a heritage town, famous for its steam engines and its beautiful countryside. Today's stage goes from Westbury to the Great Lake. It has a 17-kilometre climb, a Category 1 climb, up towards the finish. However, the riders will start climbing at around 45 kilometres just after the second sprint of the day. This is going to be a very, very tough climb. We have Jack Haig in the yellow jersey, 1 minute 48 seconds in front of Robbie Hucker, back to Darren Lapthorne and young Brodie Talbot. Now, Brodie Talbot is riding for the Caterpillar team, which is a composite team. That means he's grouped in with a team of individuals and he's showing his wares in this year's Caterpillar Tour of Tasmania.
Yeah, when you're on the climb, the teams don't matter as much. It's more to do with how you're riding and your form going up the climb, and it makes it for a better race, I think.
The stage got underway at a cracking pace today at over 60 kilometres an hour. This took us up to the first special sprint of the day, taken out by Ben Grender. Shortly after the sprint, a breakaway got away. 12 riders launched off the front, getting out to a minute and a half's lead very quickly indeed. However, back in the field, a crash occurred, taking out budget forklift rider Mark Williams. He will play no further part in this bike race. Final climb of the day, the breakaway started to split up. 4 riders became 7. A fantastic individual performance by Rhys Gillett to drag himself up to that lead group, one of the stars of the future of Australian cycling.
We got to the break and I saw that we had a good gap on the peloton, and I knew I had good legs, and there was a couple of guys in there that would have had good legs as well, as we saw with the 4 off the front, and I just yelled at him, just James, go, and he went and he pulled the biggest turn I've ever seen, so it was great.
And then we saw Brodie Talbot, our most aggressive rider of the day, launch an attack from the yellow jersey group of Jack Haig across to the leading group. He then went straight to the front of that bunch and drove that breakaway all the way to the finish line to try and gain time on the overall. He's moved himself up into the top 3 overall, but then we came down to the bunch finish. The sprint finish was won by African Wildlife Safaris rider Rhys Gillett in a very close tussle between the Drapac riders and the other riders in the breakaway.
Well, that's up there with one of the best finishes I've ever had in a bike race. It just felt amazing right from the bottom, just in the bunch with the breakaway out the road.
Jack Haig, happy with his day today, he retains his overall lead, but Brodie Talbot has certainly shown us here today that he is a force to be reckoned with in the National Road Series.
Yeah, there was a lot of climbing today's stage. It was pretty much one great big mountain at the end that we all had to go up, and we managed to keep it all together until Brodie got away, and then he managed to get away and grab a little bit more time on me, which I wasn't that concerned about. He's a little bit far behind, but yeah, we managed to keep it together, and the team did a really good job.
The snow started to fall at the finish here, but it did not bother the African Wildlife Safaris team.